Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Martyn Lucas Investor. Armageddon this weekend and how it could send the stock market in the United States booming. Imagine that. As an investment channel, we are here primarily to talk about investing, how to make money for our futures. All we want to do is provide for our families in the future to be able to just to pay the bills, not to line the walls with gold, just to survive and pay the bills. We choose to work hard and put our money in the stock market, buy great businesses, study balance sheets and find a way to make money. However, recently, that world has been tipped upside down. The very point of this show, to bring people together, to help people prepare for their futures, has been smashed to pieces. The Lucasades, the Discordians, we gather every day from 76 countries around the world to help and support each other in an honest, real, live channel aimed at nothing more than community, information, support, facts, and a way to find a way through the markets and prepare for our futures. However, the information I have today turns everything on its head. But don't worry, a handful of people will take all the money and the stock market in the United States will boom. Crazy as that might sound. First of all, we'll crash and then we'll boom. However, it will leave death and destruction around the world and most people won't even be able to benefit from it. 99% of the world don't invest in the stock market, any stock market. That's a fact. Everybody here today, the fact you are here, you're 99% richer than everybody else on the planet. Most people in the United States don't invest in the stock market. They're paycheck to paycheck. It is a game for the elite, and I'm going to break down all the numbers, all the facts for you, how you can prepare for what looks inevitable for this weekend. Please tap the like button if you want to support live information that is designed to do nothing more than to help and support real people win for the future. Please do join us on our mission. There's 264 watching live right now. If you could all tap the like button, that would be great. If you'd like to subscribe and support us, that would be absolutely wonderful. We would very much appreciate it. So what is about to occur? Are we going to get a crash or a boom? Well, we are going to end up with the boom, but before any of that, things have to come down. We are now in a very, very painful situation. We've got a situation now that we never thought we'd experience and ever see again. But things are about to get a lot worse. Then they'll get a lot better. But between now and then, they're going to get a lot worse. I'm very sad and feel sick today to report this, but as we speak, American soldiers who are just doing what they're told are on the way to the Straits of Hormuz to land on the beaches like in Dunkirk. And my prediction is, in fact, I don't want to use the words. I think you can imagine. You remember Dunkirk, the way the American and British soldiers landed on the beaches and what happened when they stepped out of their amphibious crafts. I think that's what awaits the United States. And I don't know how that's going to look to the American public when they see that. Remember, the American army very much is a remote army. Does everything from the air, does it from bunkers in Arizona with drones and AI and technologies. It doesn't want to just land on the ground and get blasted to pieces and body parts get blown everywhere. I don't know how Trump will sell that to the United States population, but that, I think, is about to happen. I don't know what you can stop, how you can stop it. Now, of course, Trump is the greatest bluffer in the world. Caroline Leavitt will stand there from the podium and say, Trump never bluffs, never chickens out. Well, he does it all the time. Is that what he's going to do at the last minute? Turn around and bring everybody back? I don't think so. Not this time. I think this time he's going to go for it. He's going to land on the beaches and try and take over the Straits of Hormuz. I don't know what benefit that will do because the Iranians have spent 35 years preparing for it. And no matter what happens, it's a war you cannot win. You'll never win it because as long as the Straits of Hormuz seems dangerous, nobody's going to want to pass through it. It's as simple as that. So I think Trump is being given false information, or he's just ignorant. I think a bit of both, honestly. I think he doesn't know his history. He doesn't know really anything other than how to make money. And remember, he's gone bankrupt half a dozen times. He's not that great at doing it. But at the end of the day, what we're about to witness terrifies me, and I don't feel comfortable doing this. I said to Vaz and Senza this morning, I'm just not enjoying doing the shows at the moment. They're not either. Common sense and knowledge is not even needed right now. Trump is coming out with claims so ridiculous and so pointless and so frankly stupid and uneducated. It's terrifying that this man is in charge of the world. He's now saying over and over again, he said the same thing. We are winning the war. We've already won the war. We don't need NATO, but we want NATO. Why can't NATO help us? NATO is the North Atlantic Treaty Organization set up after the Second World War to protect allies and defense. It's a defense force. It's not an aggressive force. It doesn't go to war. And if it goes, individual countries that are in NATO can go to war, but NATO is not a war. It's not an army for Donald Trump to command and play puppet on a string. Donald Trump went to war. He decided to do it. He decided to invade a country. He decided to blow people up. Still don't know what happened to those young girls in that school. We do, but America aren't admitting to it. But we all know it was an American bomb that blew them up. We have great evidence to support that, but they just won't even take questions on it. Doesn't sound very comfortable, does it? So they don't talk about it. But Trump did it unilaterally, on his own, just went there and dropped bombs on Iran. And now he thinks he can command the NATO force to jump in and just join in and fight a war with him. They're not an aggressive force. They are designed to defend allies under attack. That's it. Okay, that's it. That's what they're there for. They're not there to join in and attack Iran because Donald Trump said so. Donald Trump might not want to take his time and think things through, but the rest of the world likes to actually have diplomacy and discuss things and look at facts and take their time. Donald Trump just wants to blow everybody up. Well, okay, that's fine, but we're not joining in, and NATO can't just join in because Trump says so. It's not Trump's little toy he can play with. So how do we navigate all of this? Because any day now, Saturday, more than likely, we're going after market closes, more than likely. We've seen it over and over again. The markets could open 30-40% down on Monday, and most of us will get wiped out. Most of us will get margin called. Most of us will be left with nothing, but then Trump's men will come in and buy all the market and make trillions of dollars. They'll do it. They'll know when he's going to announce he's won. Whether he's won or not won't matter. We've seen this over and over again. They'll buy the market, they'll own the market, and we'll all be left on the sidelines. So how can you avoid that? Let me give you the facts, let me give you the numbers, and let me show you a way to win. And we must win. We must win. We must survive. We might end up having thousands of soldiers lying dead on the Straits of Hormuz and countless ships at the bottom of the sea. But if we want to survive, we have to keep our heads, keep cool, stay in the game, and stay focused. So that's what we're going to do. So let me break this down to you, all the numbers, how we can win and get ready. This is my real money, my real portfolio. I've borrowed every penny I can to be in the market. I've spent every penny I've got. I don't do anything else. It's all here in the market. This is my crypto position. You can see Ethereum, Bitcoin, nothing in Doge. It's just dust. Predominantly I'm in XRP. XRP, unlike all the scammers and idiots who come online and tell you all sorts, is not going to save the day. It's not a magic crypto coin that's going to magically be okay if the world comes to an end. The XRP will simply be it is a good asset, but that no more, no less. It can suffer and it can be volatile just like everything else. But this is my position. I am using tax harvesting at the moment. That is the only game in town to keep selling for losses and buying back the same asset for lower, if not the same. But make sure that you cover the cost of the trade as well. Otherwise, you are losing money. And the reason why I'm doing that is I'm preparing for future gains. This is my crypto. If I look at my realized losses this year, if I go to not just crypto, but I go to all, and I go year to date, this year's tax bill, I've lost 15,000 on paper. Now, the assets are down. We're all down. Who's making money on crypto right now? Well, nobody, unless you bought it, 5 years ago. Nobody is, right? We're all down. Now, if you're just down, you're just down. If you sell and buy back and use tax harvesting, because you can buy back crypto straight away, check your crypto is eligible. Bitcoin, XRP, and Ethereum is. Not all crypto is. You can buy it straight back for the same price. You're still where you were before, but now you've got on paper a loss. And we want that loss because later on that will go against our gains when we start making money. So very, very important to do that. Okay, so for me, the numbers are every time XRP drops more than 2%, because I'm on the lowest level of trading costs with Robinhood, it's worth me selling it all and buying it all back and posting that loss. Because remember, the losses are transferable year after year. You don't lose them even if you've ended up building up too many losses. Now, you don't want to just build too many losses up because you may never earn that money and you go on forever. So you're not trying to lose money. You're not buying Binky Bunk Fart Coin and then posting a loss at 99% loss. You're not trying to lose money. You're buying back an asset you know is going to go up. You're just on paper losing money for now. Okay, that's important to understand. So buy quality. Quality will come back. No matter what happens to the global economy, what happens to Armageddon, World War III, I don't think XRP and Ethereum Bitcoin are going anywhere. And in fact, they'll be up. More millionaires and billionaires are created during war times than ever. And there's a very famous phrase called buy the cannons, sell the trumpets. You want to be in the market because, you don't want to wait for the bottom. A lot of people are on the outside. Sensei himself is waiting for a bigger dip. I'm not, but he said himself he knows the urgency of getting in because it will bounce back really quickly. And I think the best placed businesses are those in the United States. They're the ones that are going to bounce back the most. So no doubt about it, we're going to go down. No doubt about it, most people will not be prepared. They will get margin called. They will lose their money. And no doubt about it, those that are creating all this chaos will be the very same people that buy it all and will rally like you've never seen. Now, this is great for America, except it's not that great for the rest of the world. And without the rest of the world, who's your customers anyway? So in the short term, a lot of people will make money selfishly and greedily, but where does it really end? Where does it really go in the long term? I don't know, but there's not much we can do about that. So you can see XRP already bouncing back. The market opened down this morning, and quality assets, XRP, Ethereum, Bitcoin, are going to remain and go up. So and when we see more than 2% crashes, we buy. We've done it over and over again. I share all my trades with you when it's the right time on Discord and Electrum. If you want to follow all my trades, there's Discord and there's my YouTube Electrum. I'll also pin into the chat here the link for Discord. 24-hour support. I will answer questions 24 hours a day, not with AI, not with some assistant. It's me. I am dedicated 100% to helping people. I'm here. I'm never going anywhere. I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning trading. I'm sharing my trades with you. I'm answering your questions. You are never alone. 24/7, 7 days a week. I am in Discord and Electrum, YouTube Electrum, sharing my trades, information. We have stage events every day, answering everyone's question. No one needs to feel alone. No one needs to be left behind. I am there for everyone. I'm not going anywhere. All right, no matter how bad this gets. All right, so there is our crypto. Now, recently we diversified on the threat of all this wars getting worse. This is my entire position. I don't need hundreds of shares. I can't manage hundreds of shares. I have to have a few shares I know a lot about and I can focus and manage. The S&P 500, the greatest American businesses in the world. It will be the outperformer, no question about it. You want to own it, but you also want some focus on certain subjects, certain businesses, which is why I have them and I'll share them with you in a moment. But the S&P 500, I was out of S&P 500 in October when it went to 30 times earnings. I told you it'd go back to March. It would go back down again, and it did, and it's gone lower. Then I've re-entered. I've now got, as you can see, it's going up. Look at that. No surprise. It'll crash to go up, right? 24% of my portfolio is now back in the S&P 500. This is the right thing to do now at the right time. 100% the right thing to do, and now is the right time. Yes, it can go lower, but you'll miss the bounce back. But I've also bought VUG, similar to the S&P 500, but more focused on the top tech growth stocks. I've got another 23% in there. It's going down a bit this morning because of Google and Nvidia, but I've got that. This is giving me now 50% of my portfolio. I'm earning a bit of a dividend with each of these. There's a bit of an income coming in. It's not free money, of course, but that is a broad spectrum of the best businesses in the world. They will always be American. There's nothing you can do about it. You might not agree with it. You might not like what's going on in America, but it is what it is. Then we need defensive. The best defensive play in the world, in my opinion, at this price is Coca-Cola. That is another a whopping 26% of my portfolio, paying me now about $400 a month now in dividends. Income coming in to sustain my income, my portfolio. That's where you want to be. Great price. It's going to $87 this year, $97 next year. All right. Remember, as I've explained over and over again, if World War III happens and everything's destroyed, those that own the rights when things start to get rebuilt come back. Coca-Cola could be blown up all over the world. Doesn't matter. Supply chains. It's the license, the name, the brand that matters. And that brand is owned by Coca-Cola. And when they come back, no matter how bad it gets, it's the brand, the name you own, not the individual bottling plants, the brand and the name. That's why it's a defensive play, especially at these prices. Treasury bills. Now, many people are afraid and they've put their money in treasury bills. Understandably, you can earn 4% without any risk whatsoever, unless you think the US government's going bankrupt, and no one thinks that. So it's like cash, but you earn 4%. It makes sense. It does. And bonds could go up. Short-term bonds. You don't want long-term bonds. Things change and you're buggered, right? Short-term bonds. This is where Warren Buffett has his cash. He doesn't really have cash. He has short-term treasuries. We buy it through SGOV, SGOV. That's where you want to be if you're afraid and scared. Scared money doesn't make money. Yes, you won't lose any money if the market goes down. And yes, you'll earn 4%, but you'll miss the 50, 60, 70% gains that I have spoke about this year. I told you last year I made 50% gain last year up to December before the crash. And then I'm going to do a 60, 70% this year. 100%, no doubt about it. Well, that's not going to happen if I'm in SGOV. I will guarantee to make 4% and no more. Now then, we also want some single stocks. We don't want hundreds. We can't focus on hundreds. We need a little bit of focus here. So we got to focus on the best businesses that are going to outperform the market. Give us that 50, 60%, ones that are least affected by oil, ones that will bounce back quickest, ones that have best cash flow, ones that have global dominance, ones that aren't affected as much by global supplies, shipping, inflation, and all the rest of it. In fact, they might even benefit from inflation because they crush the competition even more and earn money on their uninvested cash. So, which are they? They are Google and Nvidia, in my opinion. Now, they're going down hard right now. They will. They absolutely will. Now, this is why I've diversified. Because if I was only in Google, and you may remember a few days ago, I was 90% in Google because I know that's what's going to outperform. I used my tax harvesting to sell from the top lots. That's tax lots, which we teach on Discord. I sold from the top. I banked those losses, preparing for the future gains, and I broadened into VUG. Now, VUG focuses on Nvidia and Google. They are the top stocks, so it's very aggressive towards those, but it's also got a wider spectrum. And as you can see, my VUG is bouncing back and it has Google and Nvidia at the top of its list. But as you can see, if I was only in Google, I'd be facing a lot more pain right now and I could get close to that margin call. All right. And our job is to remain in the market. Like I said, the market would go down and bounce back. Look at this. Bad job numbers this morning. Markets on the edge of inflation at 4.5%. Trump never starts wars, except he starts wars. Trump's been bring inflation down. Inflation's going up. The market is booming under Trump, except the market is crashing. These are the facts. You can deny them all you like, but these are the facts right in front of you on the screen. There are the numbers. All right. So we need to be careful because I am all in. You want to be all in. My margin buffer now is 44%, the lowest it has ever been. That is the lowest my margin buffer has ever been. It's not good. We drop more. We drop 44%. Boom. Margin call. I'm selling for losses. Then it's all over. I don't want that. I want to survive until it bounces back. How low will it go? Nobody knows, all right? So I've got to be very, very careful. I'm all in, maximum amounts of exposure, but I'm prepared for a crash. I'm prepared for a boom. And as you can see from my portfolio, I've got a wide exposure. Now, another reason why I want crypto is over the weekend, if we have troops on the ground, we'll get all kinds of movement in the market, which you will not be able to participate in. With crypto, you can. This is why right now I don't want to be in crypto ETFs. I want to be in crypto as in the coin where I can trade 24/7. I want to be fluid. I want to be liquid. I want to be able to react because you can make money out of this. And right now, it's not about making money. It's about surviving. Trading to survive. It's as simple as that. If you don't, and if you are not prepared, and if you put your head in the sand, you could lose it all. And somebody will take it from you. A handful of politicians will take all of your money. So be very careful. Like the Trump coin, like the Melania coin. We reported on that yesterday. It all went to the Trump family. The whole kit and caboodle. Be very careful. Now then, let me now go back to giving you the numbers and allow you to be prepared. I've done everything I can to prepare everyone. I'm live all day, every day. I very rarely make videos. I do them live like this so we can answer all questions for you. In a moment, I will come to Q&A and answer everyone's questions. But right now, I want to go through our numbers in detail. So first of all, if you can, I cannot believe only 71 people have tapped the like button. What is going on? There's 352 watching right now, and most of you are asleep. What are you doing? Why are you asleep? Why are you not acting? Please, we got no downlights, but just people aren't, they just sat there passively like a frog in boiling water, slowly getting cooked. Everyone's becoming immune to it. Don't be immune. Get off your ass. Do something. I'll always be here for you. I'll always be real. I'll always be live. I'll always tell you how it is. Just tap the like button. Tap the down like if you don't agree with me, but don't just do nothing. Don't just sit there and do nothing. Please get involved. If you'd like to join us and subscribe to the family, please do that as well. Okay? Right. Here are the links for you. If you want to join me 24/7 at 3 o'clock in the morning, send me messages and I will answer. I go live. I trade live 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. There is my Discord. It's 90% discount. There are other people on Discord charging $1,000 a month to do what I do for a couple of bucks. Why? Because I want to help you. Frodo, I'm not stealing from you. I'm trying to help you. $2.99. It doesn't make me any money. Time you take out the tax, time you take out Discord's money, and the time I spent, it's not worth it. I could just sit on the beach and make more money trading. I do it because I want to do something useful with my life. 90% discount. $2.99. If you want the pro version, it is $4.99. So limit the least you can charge on Discord. You will get 24-hour support, special guests, access now to the new training courses and the newsletter. All of that integration with Sensei is coming. Some wonderful stuff for you. And one-on-one support. You can direct message me. 2-stage events every single trading day. And I will onboard you at the end of the show. There is Discord if you want it. It's pinned to the top. And you get all my trades on YouTube as well on Electrum. And you get two events a week where I will do all your stock analysis for you. We did Micron yesterday. And now, folks, we are #1 in the world on Micron. If you go, and I'll show you how powerful this community really is. Look at this. This is what you can do by waking up. All right? Let me show you this. I'm going to surprise you now. Watch this. Well, we get a special guest.
Ed Robert Elliott tipped $5 through Super Chat. Tap the like button, people. My baby will be born today, Martyn.
That is absolutely wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Let me show, that is really fantastic. You got a baby boy. Congratulations, Robert Elliott. Will everybody please show some love in the chat there for Robert Elliott? Let me show you something, guys. This is important. Look, this is the power of the community. This is one of the biggest businesses in the world, but when we do stuff, we make stuff happen. Always. So join us. Look, this is YouTube, incognito. All right, incognito, so I can't rig it. If I'm incognito, I can't rig it, okay? Because if I use my own account, I can rig it, okay? It'll tell me what I want to see, all right? We don't do that. And I type in MU stock. Hang on, where is it? Micron stock. And as you can see, Micron stock at the top on YouTube, incognito, you have an advert, paid sponsored ad, a couple of shorts, and the #1 video in the world for Micron is me here, Martyn Lucas Investor. And that is one of the largest companies in the world. This happens all the time for us. We will rank #1 for nearly every stock we cover. I've just shown you in true incognito, turning it off now and going back to me normally. MU stock, Micron stock, #1 in the world. So please get involved. You might not agree, you might disagree, you can say whatever you want. But at the end of the day, we always get it done, and we nearly always rank #1 in the world for what we cover. So please join us, and we have that tick from YouTube saying genuine and authentic. These aren't make believe. This is facts. Okay, so join us. Okay. Now I'm going to read you some information that we prepared for you this morning, some news for you directly from our newsletter, which you can get right now, award-winning newsletter, 50% off, our best ever deal, because we've got our training course coming out this week. Sensei, who owns the newsletter, talks directly daily with Michael Burry, so we're right up there with the world's best. There it is in the chat, newsletter. So I've got some information for you. I'd like to read now for you from our newsletter, a prepared statement of where we're going and the markets. Are you ready? Okay, all right, let me deliver this to you. So the S&P futures have dropped 0.6 this morning after an Iranian state media confirmed Tehran had rejected Washington's 15-point peace proposal delivered through Pakistani intermediaries earlier this week. So Trump has mentioned that he's been in negotiations with Iran. They're saying we haven't. Now they're saying we're rejecting it. Make of that as you will. Are they talking to Iran or not? No one knows. A couple of days ago, we heard that Trump had a special prize, a special gift. No one knows what that is either. I don't know why you'd keep it a secret, but he did. The plan demanded Iran dismantle its nuclear sites, halt enrichment. Let's break one thing down. Trump has already said he has destroyed all of the nuclear sites, yet we have to dismantle them. He said there was no nuclear capability a few months ago before we went on the most recent bombing campaign. There were none. Well, now there are some. But now we bombed them, now there aren't any, but now there are again. Anyway, it's nuclear sites, halt enrichment and ballistic missile development, and reopen the Strait of Hormuz, the choke point that normally handles roughly 20% of global oil supply, but has been effectively closed since early March. Now, not completely closed. Iran are getting out, and so is India, and so is some Russian oil, but none from the Americans and others. Okay, so it is effectively open. They're charging you $2 million to go through, but it's very dangerous, so people don't want to do it. Right? Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi told state television that no negotiations are taking place. We have now 36 hours to go before Trump is going to launch Armageddon? And a diplomatic source dismissed the proposal as maximalist and unreasonable, directly contradicting President Trump's claim that Iran wants a deal so badly. This is Trump's language. It's not Iranians. This is the thing that Trump doesn't understand. I mean, I'm just going to say it as it is. I think he's actually stupid because he doesn't understand at all the differences between capitalism and Western policies and culture and Iranian. I've traveled all over the world, and let me tell you, when America starts having bombs land towards it and at it, Trump will hide in the bunker. All right. In Iran, the Ayatollah went in his house because knowing bombs were coming and allowed himself to die because the rest of the population couldn't hide away. I had that directly from people that speak directly in Iran. That's actually what happened. Different philosophies, different type of people. They regard Trump as evil and will die no matter what. That they won't care. They'll keep coming. A bit like the Japanese did Pearl Harbor and kamikaze pilots. They believe it's their mission and they will do it. They'll die doing it. American soldiers will not blow themselves up. They will not do that. So you cannot defeat an army like that. You can't bomb them from the air because the moment you land, they'll just run at you with, bomb vests and whatever. They will die doing it, and American soldiers will be killed, and you ain't going to stop it. So Trump doesn't understand. He thinks he can bomb everybody to death, and that's fine, and money and power and lots of gold everywhere, and they just don't care about that stuff. They're not bothered. It makes no difference. So you need to understand the differences there. European stocks snapped a 3-day winning streak. Brent crude climbed back above $104 a barrel, and Bitcoin dropped 1.3% below 70,000 to 69,943, dragging Ethereum and XRP down 2.1% and 2.6% respectively. It was a sharp reversal from yesterday when the S&P 500 gained 0.54% and the Dow rose 0.66% and Brent fell 7% to 97.26 on hopes the peace plan could gain traction. Goldman Sachs has since raised its near-term Brent forecast to $110, warning prices could exceed 2008 records if Hormuz remains at minimum capacity for 10 weeks. We're getting very close now. I gave you a report the other day from the Bank of America telling you that we've only got a couple of weeks to go before recession is irreversible. And for the rest of the world, it will hurt most. Most of the world will be in absolute pain and destroyed for many, many, many years to come. But remember, America is a net exporter. Now, if you are a maximalist and you are like some of the ignorant people I had to walk away from here in Texas that I no longer can regard as friends because I live in an area that's become completely polarized and very aggressive, and I don't even go out my front door because of it. It's very, very uncomfortable here in this part of the world now. They think, well, it doesn't matter. America first, we're all going to get rich. Just buy the dip. You can't live in a world where you destroy the whole world, but you're sitting there with your pile of money. Who really wants to live in a world where you've destroyed everywhere, but you can sit at home in your house watching your big screen telly with your gold piled up? I mean, who really wants that? I don't know anybody normal does, but there are a lot of people around here who actually think like that. The diplomatic picture is now considerably darker, with less than 36 hours until Trump's self-imposed pause on strikes against Iranian energy infrastructure expires. Tehran countered with its 5-point proposal that includes war preparations, recognition of Iran's sovereignty over Hormuz, protection for its regional proxy groups, including Hezbollah and Houthis, and guarantees against future attacks. Iran's parliament is also working on a draft bill to formalize a toll system for vessels passing through Hormuz, charging up to $2 million per ship. Now, what does this do? If you start charging millions of dollars for each ship to pass, this will have to be passed on through inflation to the rest of the world. Now, remember, America does not need this oil. It has. It's a net exporter of energy. I've spoken about this over and over again, that certain businesses are going to boom. Enphase Energy, I've been telling you about that, and others. What will happen is Trump will step in and say, you can buy all from us. And what it will do, it'll make America richer and richer and richer, and other countries poorer and poorer and poorer, until you end up with the world broke, and that will not be good for America. Initially, yes, you'll boom and you'll be surrounded by your gold, but eventually you'll destroy the world and you'll destroy everything for everybody. I don't know why this is a good idea. Anyway, let's carry on. So $2 million a ship will create absolute unparalleled inflation that will be felt most by other countries around the world, least in America. People in America right now complain because gas prices have gone up. Oh my God, it's so expensive. It's a fraction of the price it is around the world. Go to the United Kingdom and we pay 4.5 to 5 times as much as you do for gas. Always have done, always will do, because we tax our oil in a different way than you do. So you think gas is expensive? Well, that's because you drive a truck that does 7 miles per gallon. In the UK, we drive cars that do 60 miles per gallon. All right. So be very, understand you think gas is expensive. For you in America, it's extremely cheap, and that's why you can afford big trucks and Winnebagos and Hummers that do 7 miles per gallon. We couldn't go anywhere at 7 miles per gallon. We couldn't fill it up once. It would cost £1,000 to fill up a tank at 7 miles per gallon. So understand, America is not the whole world. It's one country, and the rest of the world is very, very different. So it would send the shipping industry into absolute chaos. It's already been reporting as an informal arrangement. The White House insists talks are ongoing with Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt. Now, whether you are Republican or Democrat, and I am neither, I'm simply an investor trying to make money. If you are Republican or if you are Democrat, does anyone here actually like Caroline Leavitt? I cannot stand the woman, because whatever Trump says, whether it's right or wrong, she will literally swear to God it's the truth. She's just come out this morning saying Trump never bluffs, Trump never backs down, he always does what he said. Hello, taco trade. Every 5 minutes, Trump backs out and changes his mind and flip-flops. Talking about Trump is angry with NATO because they won't go to war with him. Are you completely stupid or something? NATO is not an aggressor. It's a defense force. It's there to protect its allies. It's not going to go to war with anybody just because Trump said so. Can anyone say to me in the channel, does anyone here like Caroline Leavitt? I've never known anyone so completely, literally a puppet on a string, who will just say anything to keep Donald Trump happy. No matter how stupid, how ridiculous, how nonsense it is. It seems the more stupid it is, and the bigger the lie, then the better it is. I cannot understand Caroline Leavitt at all. I think she's just a puppet on a string that stands there and just talks utter nonsense. Does anyone like Caroline Leavitt? Anyway, Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt warned that Trump does not bluff and is prepared to unleash hell. Doesn't bluff. He's bluffed 1,000 times. He's tacoed 1,000 times. He's off. He's on, all over the place. I don't know what to say to all this. And to unleash hell. The very language that is used is unpresidential, it's undemocratic, it's unbelievable. When you're talking about blowing up literally the whole of the Middle East and taking away, because what will happen is, don't get me wrong, if they take out all the power plants, they will put the entire nation of Iran in the dark. 97+ million people will be in the dark. They'll have no power, they'll have no communication, everything will break for them, and then Iran will fire all over the Middle East. Middle East will all desalination plants which aren't protected and can't be protected will be destroyed. Nobody in the Middle East will have any water. We'll have disease. We'll have all kinds of civil war breaking out and people dying all over the place. And this should not be described as, unleashing hell. This is real mass murder on mass scale. And if Donald Trump does do what he said he's going to do, it will be a war crime. He will be up there with Adolf Hitler and Putin. If you go after infrastructure, it is regarded as a war crime. Does Donald Trump want to be known, the guy who wants to give himself a congressional medal, which I quote, he said that in the State of the Union, he wants to give himself a congressional medal. Well, there are real American heroes in the House. He said that. Beyond belief, but there we go. Is all this being done so we're not looking at the Epstein files, which are all out, by the way? No one's paying any attention to it. Ukraine, no one's paying any attention to Ukraine. That's all going on. Vladimir Putin's loving it. He can do what he wants. He might even get his oil back. It's absolutely unbelievable. So anyway, we should not be speaking about these things in such language because it is war crimes. It is mass murder. The man who wants to give himself the Nobel Peace Prize, starting a war, now wants to commit war crimes. And it's okay. And people are just accepting this as now the new norm. Vice President J.D. Vance may travel to Pakistan for face-to-face talks this weekend, but both sides are publicly miles apart. A poll conducted this week found 61% of Americans disapprove of military strikes. Now, let me give you the numbers, folks. 61% of Americans do not agree with Donald Trump. Shall I broaden that for you? The rest of the world doesn't agree with Donald Trump. Now, you might be the greatest and you might be the biggest MAGA fan in the world. But let me tell you, and again, I am not against Trump. I am not for Trump. I am simply an investor trying to deliver information for my audience to win when it comes to investing. All right? 61% of Americans disapprove with military strikes. 61% of Americans do not want this. The rest of the world, nobody wants it. Trump will tell you around the world he's popular and everyone loves it. I have spoken to people all over the world that used to love America, that would dream of coming to America. Nobody wants to come here. People say they hate it. Trump has destroyed it. Trump is not celebrated around the world. Trump is not loved around the world. The rest of the world cannot wait for Donald Trump to leave office. 61% of Americans disapprove of these military strikes. 61% of Americans don't agree with it. Adding domestic pressure to the White House push for visible diplomatic progress. Meanwhile, the US is deploying more than 1,000 paratroopers from the 82nd Airborne Division alongside 5,000 Marines trained in amphibious assaults. This is going to be like Dunkirk. If you've seen the film Dunkirk, the Americans turn up, land on the beaches with the British and get blown to pieces as they get out of their amphibious craft. No one will deny that America has the biggest force in the world. It has more bombs than anyone. It has great sophistication, more than anyone. But a man on a beach, running up a beach, running across the Straits of Hormuz, is a man with a gun, no more, no less, and there are people dug in waiting to blow them to pieces, and you cannot stop it. And I cannot imagine what it will look like on Saturday when we see the sequel to Dunkirk, Part 2, American forces lying dead on a beach that Trump sent there on purpose so he could crash the market so he could buy it back himself. This is beyond words and comprehension, and we need to speak out against it, because if you are a human being and you have any compassion, and if you have any emotion, and you love America, and you love the rest of the world, and you love the planet Earth, and you'd like to keep it for future generations, what is going on with the United States president? He's about to commit war crimes if he goes ahead with this. You cannot celebrate this and think this is great. It is not. It's very dangerous, and it is awful and very, very sad. And I am sick and tired of every morning waking up and this is what we talk about. The Pentagon is preparing options for a final blow, including ground forces and a major bombing campaign. Now, the information I'm getting about the major bombing campaign is carpet bombing, like the Nazis did over London in the Second World War, because that is the only way you're going to do this. Because right now, all down the Straits of Hormuz, the Iranian army and individual people and individual cells, terrorists, people with a gun, people with a bomb are just lining up to fight back America. And all you've got to do to cripple world economy, to cripple a recovery for the rest of the world, not America, the rest of the world, all you've got to do is create chaos in the Straits of Hormuz. You don't have to win. You don't have to be the bigger army. You don't have to win and destroy all of America's army, because you're not going to do that. They've got more bombs. They've got more guns. They're going to win, because nearly all of America's money goes on to buying the biggest army in the world, whereas other countries will focus on other things like the environment or National Health Service or whatever it might be. America's number one is, let's have the biggest army. So you're not going to beat the army. Totally, you can't do it. But all you've got to do is create chaos for another couple of weeks, and the rest of the world's economy is in the toilet. And it will take centuries to fix, because if Trump bombs all of the infrastructure for the Middle East, that's it. It's over. What you'll end up with is a completely destabilized area of the world that will just fight forever and ever and ever. A humanitarian crisis will be everywhere. Pollution will be everywhere. And everybody in America will just be sitting here with all their money. Except you won't feel it, because it's not your America. It's Trump's America. Most people will see inflation going up and think things are hard for them. But a few rich, powerful people will just be sitting on their island thinking life's great. Because when Trump says he loves America, he does. He absolutely does love America. He loves his America. His America is fantastic. His America is brilliant. Does everybody else think America's great right now? Does everybody else feel rich right now? Does everybody else feel safe right now? No, 61%, and that will go to 80% this weekend. That's just my guess. But 61% now is saying they're against the war. You wait until you see the troops land in Iran. It'll go to 80%. Nobody will want the war then. BlackRock President Robert Capito warned today that investors may be underestimating how badly the conflict could hit portfolios, telling a symposium in Melbourne that growth could take a 2% point hit, while inflation may rise by a similar margin. Think if inflation goes up 2%. That would be nearly 5% inflation. Everybody in America will feel that. You will feel that. You'll feel it a lot more in Britain, a lot more in Europe, a lot more in Asia, and you'll complain in America, oh, my gas has gone up to $2 a gallon, up by $2 a gallon, and how can I put any money in my 7 miles per gallon Hummer, right? Oh, I can't cope with this. You are paying a fraction of what the rest of the world will pay. It will seem painful to you, and you'll complain and you'll get upset, but you won't know how bad it is around the world. It'll be a lot worse, a lot worse, to the point people will starve, that people will have nothing. All right. So when you sit there going, I can't put gas in my Hummer today, or my massive great truck, trust me, people around the world walk, they get on a push bike and they cycle to work. So just bear that in mind before you get too upset too quickly. But inflation will hit you, and then you'll see how bad this will get, but it'll be nothing compared to the rest of the world. Brent crude is on pace for its biggest monthly gain since 1990. These are serious astronomical numbers, having surged from below $70 a barrel at the start of the conflict to a peak of $119. Do you know how high it could go, folks? It could go above $200 a barrel. This will not affect America. You'll say it does, and you'll feel it, and you'll go, oh, my gas has gone up, but nothing compared to the rest of the world. Iran, paradoxically, has been one of the war's economic beneficiaries. Listen, I'll repeat that. Iran, paradoxically, has been one of the war's economic beneficiaries. Its crude is selling at the slimmest discount to Brent in over 10 months, and as the only major exporter still able to ship through Hormuz, its Krag Island terminal has actually seen active increase. Across Asia, the fuel crisis is deepening. Japan has begun releasing oil from its national reserves, but these are going to run out. And if you've not understand how bad that is, this never happens. Japan do not do that, but they're doing it now as a final ditch attempt. You saw how much Japan supported Trump.
A Defense 89 tipped $2 through Super Chat. Should we invest into gas?
Should we?
If yes, what ticker?
That's a very good question. Should we invest into gas? Well, if you buy the S&P 500, I think is the best way. You are diversing in all the major energy firms. I wouldn't be picking individual stocks at all. This is the time for the S&P 500. This is the time for literally, it's what I am invested in. Look at Coca-Cola. Look at Coca-Cola going up today, and this is affected by shipping and deliveries, and yet it's booming today. You might go, booming? 0.5%? Yes. For Coca-Cola, that is booming, all right? This is where you want to be. People are going to go in and out of this and use it as a piggy bank. This is why it's the biggest part. It's 26% of my portfolio. It is the single biggest part of my portfolio. It's a brand, it's a name, it's least affected by all of this, even though it will be affected a lot. Thailand hiked gasoline prices 14% to 22% overnight, and India's state-owned refiners purchased liquefied petroleum gas. You just asked about gas? Here we go. LPG from Iran for the first time in nearly 8 years after shortages forced some households to cook with firewood. Now again, remember I just said to you, in America, you'll think it's tough for you because you can't fill up your truck and your F-150 and your or whatever, all right? Listen to what I just said there. This is important, right? This is very important. I'm going to say this again. Thailand hiked gasoline prices. Thailand, right, in the Middle East, in Asia, sorry, hiked gasoline prices 14% to 22% overnight. You don't have inflation, anything like that in America, and you have all the money. You'll go, oh, no, I don't, I'm poor. You're rich compared to the rest of the world. You don't know what sacrifice is. You don't know what it is. 22% overnight in Thailand. And India's state-owned refiners purchased liquefied gas because some people in households are burning firewood. They've got no gas left. They can't afford the gas. Name me one household in America, across America right now, that has a truck outside, who's in the house, cannot afford their gas bill or their electric bill, and they're now burning wood that they've just chopped down from the local tree. No, that is not. Yet some people will, I know, but 99% of Americans will not be feeling pain like that. That's already happening, and boots on the ground haven't landed yet. You've no idea what you don't know. The Pentagon is even considering diverting weapons originally intended for Ukraine to the Middle East. Right, now we've got Europe worsening. Donald Trump created all of this. What you've got now is Ukraine is stuffed. Ukraine is losing the support it had. This is the front line for Europe. Now Putin can stroll across Europe. No one can stop him. All right? We're getting less and less support now for Ukraine. It's being diverted. So Ukraine is buggered. I've learned this morning that what Ukraine has to do to get continued support from the United States is give up the land they've been fighting over. The land that was invaded by a dictator. Putin, who's killed tens and hundreds of thousands of innocent people to take over some land. They've been trying to defend it, and now they've got to give it all back, so they end up sacrificing hundreds of thousands of people for no reason whatsoever, and Putin's got what he wanted, and he's further into Europe, and now there's no support for Ukraine. He just pushes and takes even more. This is where we are right now. This is what's happening. A sign in Europe, the conflict is worsening and resources are now straining. American military capacity on multiple fronts is being taken away. We've got less and less support now from for Ukraine. I mean, if that doesn't make you feel sad today, I don't know what is. So I'm going to wrap this up. We're going to go to Q&A and answer every single question. So what we're going to do, because we have lots of people watching the show, we're going to go members only. It's only a couple of bucks to be a member. That way we can answer everybody. So let me switch to members only. If you are a member and you've asked a question or you've had a comment and I didn't read it out, I didn't share it, now please repeat it and I will see it. We are now in members only mode. Please now read it out. Please repeat it. And I can answer all questions, all comments. No one gets left behind. And then I'll send you over to the extra channel. And then I'm going to go into Discord and share my trade on Electrum, how I'm preparing my trades, give a one-on-one support. We have live video link-ups in Discord. Everyone can talk to me. I can answer everyone's private questions and share all my trades. That's where I'll be in a moment. If you want to join me on Discord, there it is, or on Electrum YouTube, I will share my trades with you. And there'll be another Electrum event like there was yesterday, doing some more stock analysis for you as well. All that's coming up. All right. So let me see if anybody needs onboarding on Discord, because during these events, people join Discord and they want to get onboarded. So let me have a look. My interviews. Okay. Let me check that one. No, I've got nothing there to update. I just wanted to make sure. No, we're all good on Discord. No one joined today. That's okay. So there's nothing to do there. Right. Let's now go to comments and questions. The market is down today, but it's nothing compared to where we're going if we get boots on the ground. And then, of course, we'll rally after all of that. So here we go. Let me... Members only. Here we go. From here. So, subwoofer, Martin, you're wrong. My supercharged Cadillac Escalade gets 9 miles to the gallon. Okay, not 7, but 9. Fantastic. Great. Thank you, subwoofer, for sharing that. You get 9 miles per gallon. Well, let me tell you, very few people in Europe will buy a car that doesn't do at least 30. Most people buy cars that do 50 and 60 miles per gallon. At least. You can't go around. You can't afford it. You can't buy a 9 mile per hour gallon car. But anyway, good luck to you, subwoofer. It's going to get expensive for you, but remember, you can easily cut your costs if it gets expensive by buying a car that does 60 miles per gallon. You can do that. Toyota make them, Japanese cars do them, or you might want to go electric. Anyway, there you go. At least it's Friday. It's Friday evening. Tidy big dog. At least it's Friday. It's Thursday. Anyway, NATO needs to help Ukraine instead of just the US. Diesel Raider, NATO needs to help Ukraine. Diesel Raider, you have to understand that Ukraine is not part of NATO. It's not a NATO member. So it can't just jump in and defend. It can't. It can't do that. It's not part of NATO, all right? It wants to be part of NATO, but it's not. Why is Nvidia not much higher a share? Why? Because it's a growth stock and it's volatile and it's being sold at the moment to buy it back. War, says RV Capitalist. Mark says, Martin, isn't it true historically go up during an... Yes, it is. It's why you want to remain in the market. It's why I'm all invested. Why I'm not sitting on the sidelines. I get messages from people like Tim Rogers who will say, Martin, sit in cash, sit in cash. These people sit in cash all the time. They're always sitting in cash. Sitting in cash, don't do anything. Well, what happens when you do nothing? Well, nothing happens. You know, people sit in cash all the time going, I'm protecting my money. No, you're not. You're losing money all the time because your money is about to get even more devalued. Sitting in cash is pointless. People say cash is king. I say cash is trash. You use money to earn money. Money doesn't, if money's just sitting there, it's a piece of paper sat on the table, just losing money. You might as well set fire to it. I'm always invested, and I'm so convinced that we'll have a crash and then a boom. I'm not waiting for it. I'm investing in it. And I borrowed all the money I can, all my margin, all my outside borrowing. I have done everything I can, and I'm focusing on me working, earning money to be able to pay off the margin by working. It will take me years to pay off the margin, but I'll work and I'll pay it off. I will own this stock market right here, right now, because 5 years and 10 years from now, I will look back on this and go, oh my God, look at my portfolio. Will the world be in a bad place? I don't know. Maybe. I can't do nothing about that. I can't stop Trump blowing up stuff, but I can prepare for it. But you are absolutely right, Mark. Isn't it true markets historically go up during and after a war? Yes, it is. You have the reaction at the beginning and then the boom. You're right. TDS may be affecting your judgment. I don't know what TDS means. It seems like a pretty bad case. I've no idea what you mean by TDS. I think you're probably being rude, but that's okay. We allow everyone to be here on the show. If you want to be rude, it's only you who looks rude. Can anyone tell me, what does TDS mean? Someone just said I have TDS. What does TDS mean? I'll Google it. Somebody wants publicly to be rude. That's the way people are, right? TDS. It's not even a real word. It's not even a real word. Why would you say something that's not even a real word? Oh, Trump derangement syndrome. Okay. So that's, I think, what it is. All right. So, again, some people like to make themselves look arses. They want to do it. So Trump derangement syndrome may be affecting your judgment. It seems like you have a bad case. Trump derangement syndrome. Are you talking to me or somebody in the channel? I don't have any derangement syndrome. I'm looking at facts and history and telling you how it is. Obviously, I'm assuming, and I might have this wrong, you might correct me, but it looks like to me you are one of those people that I had to walk away from that thinks everything Trump says, everything Trump does is good, no matter how. I know people who tell me the Trump coin and the Melania coin is fantastic. And they lost all their money. They literally gave all their money to 80 wallets. 80 wallets, all Trump family members. 80 wallets. Whereas everybody else lost all their money. And when I talk to them about it, they say, well, I'm just supporting Trump. It's great. I go, it's the worst investment you ever made. It's the worst coin ever in the history of the world. And you literally have nothing. And they think it's great. Well, you can't fix people like that. So let them walk around in their paradox universe. I mean, that's the way it is. So I have Trump derangement syndrome, apparently. I didn't even know that was a real thing. But there we go. I guess Trump made it up, so it must be true. My car does 53 miles per gallon. There you go, folks. Gerrymandering. I have American people all the time say to me, Martyn, you're talking rubbish. There's not one car in the world that does 50 miles per gallon. Well, gerrymandering just said my car does 53. It does. It does. It does. Imagine, Jerry, if you lived in America, all right, and your car does 53 miles per gallon, how cheap gas would feel to you having come from another country. You'd be driving 24/7. You'd be towing caravans all the time. You wouldn't care less. You wouldn't complain at the price of gas, would you? But an American says it's really expensive because they drive a car that does 7 miles per gallon and they don't know how bad it can really get. And they don't walk anywhere. Am I still all right for that spare gallon? Am I still right for that spare gallon, says Tidy Big Dog? Ukraine and Iran, none of our business. Ukraine and Iran is none of our business. That's an opinion and a view. You can share that, okay? Thank you for sharing that point of view with me, Ralph. Diesel, Maverick calling TDS on a third world war. calling TDS on Third World War. Says Defense. Ralph, exactly. Sod it, says Tiny Big Dog. Did you buy any Micron yesterday, Martyn? No, I didn't buy any Micron yesterday. I already own it in the S&P and in VUG. Who's helping the West Bank? It's terrible. Oh, yeah, well, yes. Trump said, and again, whatever. Trump said he's going to build hotels in Gaza. On people's houses, all the dead people? Yeah, probably. That went down well, except nothing happened. He walked away and nothing's happened. We've just got a pile of dead bodies, and yeah, I mean the West Bank is destroyed. It's just a rubbish tip. It's just a rubbish tip. It's awful. People's homes just gone forever. I would rather have a Mercedes BMW than a truck if I lived in the EU. Yes, thank you for that, Capital. Do you think the market, do you expect the market to soar over the weekend and then bounce back on Monday? Bounce back. If it soars, that means it's going up, and then bounce back. I don't know what you mean. Do you mean crash over the weekend? It can't crash over the weekend because the markets are closed, Citizen UK. The markets are closed over the weekend. Are you talking about the crypto market? What will happen is, I think we'll get this really bad information. You know, that I mean, if Trump, I don't know what he's going to do. Does anyone know what he's going to do? I don't know. Is he going to turn back? Is he going to land on the beaches? I have no bloody idea. But what I do know is whatever happens will come after the markets close, so we'll all be in the dark. We won't be able to react to it. The markets will. I mean, if they land on the ground, then the market's going to crash 20-30% on Monday, and then it will bounce back because all the rich people will buy it. Yeah, my diesel is bloody $200 to fill up 2 times a week. Diesel. You need to get yourself a more efficient car then. All right, that's what you need to do. Ukraine is one of the most corrupt governments on earth, says Jacko. I can't comment. I don't know I don't know anything about. I don't know. I just can't comment. I need a Flintstone car. There you go. Well, it's called walking. In Europe, people walk everywhere. I used to walk and get on a bike and all sorts. Good afternoon, Martyn and chat. Oh boy, we are in for a turbulent week. Oh boy, we are indeed. Time waits for nothing. Cash is losing power. Absolutely agreed, Nutella. Those that sit in cash, and I'll tell you, I'll make a prediction. I'll make a prediction. All right. Those that have been hiding, those that talk about all money in cash, they've not been on the show. They've not been part of the show. You wait when my portfolio starts going down big. They'll all come in then and say, should be in cash. They won't be here doing anything when we can do something about it. They'll come in when the markets crash. Do you remember we used to have a guy called Market Prophet? Always. I'm the market prophet. He's the market rubbish bin, talks rubbish. But the point is, he thought he knew everything. And when the market was going up, you didn't see him. When we're all making money, you don't see him. When the markets crash, I told you, you got to have your money in cash. You got to have your money in cash. That's what you got to do. Yeah. So what have you been doing? Nothing. Just been sitting around. You're a pain in the ass, mate. You don't achieve anything. You should have shorted the market. Oh, God. You get all those sort of people. I feel like you're shaming Americans a bit. We've already been taxed on submission by our government to subsidize the world. Well, I'm not bashing Americans, Logan. I live in America. My wife's American. My family, American. All right? I'm not bashing America a bit. I'm telling you how it is. If you don't like the truth, it is what it is, Logan. I'm just telling you how it is. We've already been taxed to submission by our government to subsidize the world. Okay, we're not going to talk about tariffs right now, all right? That's another subject for another day. I agree with you. There has been a deficit. I've spoken about taxes and tariffs forever. I agree with you. There's been, but at the end of the day, nobody asked Trump to go to war in Iran. No, I mean, how many billions and billions of dollars has this war cost? Remember, a few weeks earlier, Trump said he got rid of all the nuclear stuff. There was no nuclear stuff. Did that twice. And then he decided to go to war anyway, without involving anyone. Just did it by himself. Trump has cost billions of dollars. We didn't ask him to do it. No one voted for that. Trump says he was the man of peace. He was the man of ending wars. Now he's the man of starting wars. So it's flip-flop all over the bloody place. Anyway, let's have a look. Obviously, a Trumper posting there. Yes. Yeah. We openly want Trump supporters, Democrat supporters, everyone. I'm neither. I'm just an investor trying to make money. Okay, that's all I'm trying to do. This channel is about investing, how to make money. That's all we're doing. Okay? I don't care whether you Trump supporter or you Democrat supporter. I'm not bothered. All right? I like some things Trump does. I don't like some things Trump does. Simple as that. All right? But we're just going to tell it straight. What I don't want is someone who's completely blinkered on either side, like my stupid friends I had to walk away from, that think this is all great. It's not great. Blowing people up, murdering people, war crimes isn't great. That's what dictators do. It's not great. How's it great? How's it good for anybody? It's great for a few people that only care about money and power. It's great for them. It's not great for anybody else. So if you can't see that, then you're blinkered. And I can't do anything about that. That's who you are. They don't like the facts. No, that's correct, Catalina. They don't. Some people just don't want the facts. They just want to be told what they want to believe, and that is it. BMW 63 says, Tidy Big Dog. That's why I call blind Trump supporters Trumponians, says the real Van Silver. My 1987 Accord got 50 miles per gallon. There you go. Gas easily hit $10 a gallon in the USA. Yep, you'll be running out buying an efficient car then, because you'll have no choice. All right. Anyway, BYD. F all a gallon. Well, yeah, it's electric. That's right. Prius is the king of miles per gallon. Yeah, another one. The good old Volkswagen. Look at this. Look at this. Look at Vaz. Vaz is in the UK. The good old Volkswagen, 70 to 80 mile a gallon if you knew how to drive it. There you go. See that? Most Americans, Vaz, will not believe you. They will go, no, you cannot get a car that does 30 miles a gallon. Vaz got a car that does 70 to 80 miles per gallon. Unbelievable, right? And I can tell you, back about 50 years ago, an engineer designed an engine in America that could do 1,000 miles per gallon, and Shell bought the patent and buried it. An oil company bought the patent and buried it. Okay, then they designed an engine that could do 1,000 miles per gallon, and Shell bought the patent and buried it. Right? Let's leave it like that. I'm driving a small Renault Clio, fill it up every third month, use it to go to work every day, so I'm not complaining so much. There you go, Kata. There you go. There are efficient cars. They do exist. I have my motorcycle ready for the gas price. That's right. Get yourself a little scooter. All over Italy, people ride scooters. I used to have a scooter, then I had a motorbike. I'd rather stay with my Bentley. Well, of course, now you're back down to 7 miles per gallon again. That's up to you. Trump is holding a cabinet meeting right now live. Is he? Is Trump live now? Doesn't say he's live. Let's have a look.
Oh. Had no big knew his name. One amazing. So, thank you very much.
Hang on, is that an old one? I want to make sure because we get a lot of repeats.
And great damage, but fortunately, you don't have to.
Okay, let me have a quick look. Okay, we're going to end this. We're going to switch to that. Create, go live. Yeah, we're going to go live to it now. Stay with me, please. I'll only be a sec. You'll only be a minute or be behind it. It makes no bloody difference. So stay with me. We can watch it together and we can discuss it. But if you stay with me, we'll do it now. Bear with me. Okay, let's switch right to it. Thank you very much for letting me know. I really do appreciate it. We can switch right to it now. We're only a second. We're only about a minute behind, so we can do it now. Thank you very much for alerting me of this. Here we go, live now. We're only a second behind, so watch it with us and then we can discuss it, right? Doesn't matter if you watch it a minute later, does it? Right, there we go. Live now. There's the event. We're going there live right now. Donald Trump is live, and we can do it right now. We're only a minute behind, so please stay with us, okay? Here we go. The link's at the top. I've dropped it in the chat for you. I'll give it to you again, and it will take you there automatically. I'll see you right there in 1 minute. Here we go.